Hey, FB family, how are you? It's Ilan Bomani. Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? I am here to share with you some phenomenal information. You know us, we come here about 12-ish, 1-ish, whatever time that we can fit in order to accomplish our goal of helping typical dadpreneurs and mompreneurs fire their boss, yay, and hire their kids. And with that in mind, we interview on a Monday to Friday basis dadpreneurs and mompreneurs that are making 6 to 7 figures and enjoying their life to the utmost possibility. Thank God it's Friday, Friday. Every day is Friday for us, to be honest with you. But anyway, today what we're going to do is basically have a part 2 of what we did yesterday. Yesterday, I talked about the 7 benefits of being a mom and dadpreneur. So go check that wonderful FB Live as far as that's concerned. It was absolutely awesome. I broke down in tears. I couldn't help myself at one of them. But anyway, today what we're going to do is talk about the cons as far as being a mom and dadpreneur. You know, what are the challenges and the negatives as far as taking on that type of opportunity for yourself and for your family. Now, for me, it was very hard for me to come up with cons because all I do is focus on the pros, and that outweighs any cons that are in existence. But I had to think hard, and I got a couple for you, so I'll lay it out for you. Well, the first con as far as being a dadpreneur or mompreneur is that, well, majority of the time you are at home in your PJs. I mean, this is literally my attire sometimes throughout the day. Like right now it is, going on 1 o'clock and I'm still in my PJs, type of thing. And actually I had an emergency and I had to go to Home Depot in my PJs. I had to go to Sam's Club in my PJs. I know so many people say you shouldn't go out in your PJs, but I tell you, I'll be honest with you, it's the warmest clothes in the world. I don't know why they create the warmest clothes to wear for only you to be able to wear them inside your house. Is beyond my knowledge. The material is absolutely excellent, and I got my allergic to cold weather. Anyway, I had to run out and do an emergency run because I had to find some what is it called? Some clinging plastic for my pallets. I'm shipping off to Amazon FBA. Anyway, so that's one of the cons, is that you are always in mode as far as a mompreneur, a dadpreneur. The line of demarcation is hard to separate. And, when you're at home, sometimes it's easy for you to get distracted. And I'm thinking that for most people. Matter of fact, I talked to a dadpreneur. Matter of fact, Matt Wolf. I talked to Matt, and you can go to thepajamamama.com and check out that interview that I had with Matt. Matt has a great, awesome site. He's an authority and brand, expert. And what he was sharing was the fact that even though he's a dadpreneur, he actually had to have his office outside of his home to kind of keep himself organized, focused, and on track. I think women, because we're just multitask oriented, we know how to switch our hat in a matter of minutes. 1 minute we're playing mom, next minute we're playing chef, cook in the kitchen, next minute we're a housekeeper cleaning the house, next minute we're, the mompreneur, we're working our business. So we know how to multitask and work, make a way out of no way, make things happen. We got the kids running around in the household, cooking food. Yesterday I was doing a show and River was cooking some food and I'm seeing steam. I'm like, get that right away, while I'm doing the show. So it doesn't bother us. I think men in particular, dadpreneurs in particular, they tend to have to focus on one thing at a time. And like I said, for most moms, that's not even an option. Like I said, we could be doing clothes, cooking a meal, and talking on the phone, or on a business deal, bringing somebody into our wonderful network marketing company, whatever the case may be. So I think it's easier for mompreneurs to do it than dadpreneurs. We're just wired differently, and one is not either good or bad. It's just different, and we got to accept that about each other. So probably a lot of dadpreneurs are more inclined to like to have their offices outside of their home. Matter of fact, I think Ty Cohn was another dadpreneur. He had an outside office too. I think even Ron, I think women so run have an outside office also. So a lot of men dadpreneurs like to kind of separate, when they're being a dad and when they're being an entrepreneur. But I think like most women, we have got to learn, we have no options, to balance the juggling act of doing it all. So it's trying to really focus on, the line of demarcation of when I am focused on being a parent and when I'm focused on being a business person. So I have learned to kind of work them in tandem. And to be honest with you, which is so awesome, is people like you who understand. I remember I was watching one mompreneur, Barbara Ling. She was doing a webinar, and all of a sudden I think her son threw something across the room. And she was like, oh my God. But, she just kept it moving, type of thing. And none of us could care less because majority of us are mom and dadpreneurs and want to be like her or are like her. So we understood, okay, let's focus on the bottom line. How this product can make me money is what's really important. So I'm going to say that's the first, con, is the fact that the time, separating the time that we spend being a parent from the time that we focus on our business, okay? The second con to being a mom and dadpreneur is that we're not guaranteed, a check coming in on a monthly basis. We have no, benefits or, let's see, a 401k, retirement plan. We don't have usually the life insurance, the medical insurance, the eye dental care and the eye care and all those other perks that you get when you work in corporate America. So we got to budget that out into our whole lifespan and make sure we're taking care of that. And usually we neglect it, and I'll be the first to raise my hand, because we focus on the bottom line, making sure we got a nice little next egg to take care of that next business venture that we want to venture into. So it's really feast and famine. 1 month we may make, 50,000. Another month we may make 10,000. Another month we may make 1,000. It just sometimes it can be that way. We try to set it up where we're getting steady income in on a monthly basis, but that's where, I always say save money so one day money will save you. So make sure that you're really having a good money management system in place. I always say people, just because the money is in the bank doesn't mean that you can spend it, So, focusing on the juggling act as far as balancing one's budget is what's going to be really important to be able to structure that, because it's feast or famine. You never know. It's so unpredictable as far as each and every single month. There is no security when it comes to, hey, Shamonde, how are you? Nice to see you. Diva, good to see you on our wonderful show today. But in addition to that, what we try to do, like I said, is create a budget on a monthly basis, always plan. Even if you decide to transitioning from your job, you plan like 6 months ahead. So if you're averaging making, let's say, $5,000 a month, you need to have already in your savings account 5 times 6, $30,000, to kind of give you a nice little cushion in order to prepare for that. Now, most people don't normally do that. That's a lot of money to be able, good sis, hey, good for you, to be able to do that. So, what I try to do is I try to tell people to prepare the best way that you can. And also another good option is to live below your means. Another good option for a lot of people to do is to cut down your expenses as much as possible as you start to transition from your place of employment. Instead of you needing, $5,000 to live off on a monthly basis, hey, let's see if we can cut it down to $3,000. And so instead of saving, not having to think about it, when you don't have to go to work, you can save on what? Gas. Okay, you can save on eating out, lunches and things of that nature. You can save on also dry cleaning, getting your clothes cleaned, etc. You can save on knowing things. Oh, your attire, what you wear to work. Well, I wear my PJs, you know what I'm saying, to work. So I don't have to worry about, having, stylish kind of clothes and corporate attire, which can be very costly, or professional attire to go to a corporation. So, cut down your expenses so you don't need that amount of money. Factor that in. What you don't need if you're working from home, etc. And then you'll be able to, have to save less money on a monthly basis. So if you're saving 3 times 6, That's a big difference. We're talking about only $18,000 a month, okay? So that's a significant difference, and that's a lot doable for a lot of people. So keep that in proper perspective. So that's the other con, is that, you don't have steady income coming in, and you don't have, that kind of quote unquote security. But we know that that's not secure. Just ask those people who are just now being let go from Macy's and The Limit and Sears and Target and a lot of other major companies that are, I think even Verizon has let go, AT&T has let go a lot of their people and their corporations. So my point is, there's no such thing as job security. And even now in the 22nd century, the reality of the situation is they say the average person is going to change their job at least every 10 years. It used to be you could stay at a company for 10, 20, 30, 40 years a lifetime. No, not in this generation. You guys are not going to have that luxury at all. That's why I know it's so important that you have another business, another side gig, just in case, for your plan B and also plan C. So with that in mind, so the other thing that I want to share with you is that the third con to being a mompreneur and dadpreneur is that you have to be your greatest motivator. You got to believe in what you're doing more than anybody else, because so many people have been conditioned to believe about, getting a job and quote unquote having some quote unquote security, and all your family and your friends and loved ones. A lot of people are not going to believe in what you believe in. You got to be your greatest coach, your greatest motivator, etc., and try to find peers and people of like mind to help keep you, having that fire, having that ambition, having that, that drive, to continue doing what you're doing. Sometimes you feel kind of alone, you're at home, you're with your kids or you're with your husband, and it's just you guys, trying to make things work. And you're in that little cubby hole that, and you're not seeing what's going on outside the world. So that can be a major con in that respect, not being able to, get that quote unquote support. Now, what I do to circumvent that, I'm up in the morning time, I'm up early, and I am listening to my positive motivational tapes or videos or reading the books or quotes or things of that nature, modeling after successful people that are where I want to be, like Oprah. That's my girl, me and Oprah, we have a conference call every day. She reminds me each and every day the possibilities of dreams absolutely coming true. So you pick, who works best for you, who you marinate with, and sometimes you have people live and in color, that are, where you want to be. So always look to those people for comfort. Sometimes I can't call Oprah and say, hey, millionaire, billionaire mentor, look at here, etc. But like I said, I can get access to her via articles, via books, tapes, videos, all those type of things. And I try to just really stay there. I really limit my interactions with people that are not where I want to be. And that's family, friend, or foe, or frenemy, okay? You may want to have to do that, because I promise you that it's going to be really, really, really challenging along the way. And you don't need to be around any vibrational frequency that's not, about where you want to be, okay? So, to stay positive and things of that nature, just like I said, marinate with people, go to places and things of that nature. And, always, always, always remember that you have Elon, you want to see a mompreneur, you want to see a dadpreneur, tune into us. And that's why I have my show, because I do every day, because you need it every day. You need to get, programmed into this. You need to get psyched out about, what you're doing, because I promise you society is always beating you down and telling you what you cannot do as opposed to what you can do. And that's where we come into play. I mean, seeing examples of people whom are in our industry, who are making money and who are successful. It's not that they don't have their same trials and tribulations. Please, if anything,